Welcome back to shop, guys. It's Friday night. Me and John are in here. We're gonna have a couple beers. We might try to work on something. I don't know. I don't know if I have the ambition to start another project tonight or not, but what do you think?
Gluten-free, baby. That's what I think.
Gluten-free, baby. All right, guys. Tonight I think we're gonna try to get the heater control valve installed and get the heater hoses hooked up to the heater core and get all that stuff hooked up inside the car. I gotta run a couple cables and hook up a vent or two. So let's get to it. All right, so we got the heater hoses all hooked up to the heater core. I had to extend that one a little bit. It was a little too short from the factory Suburban where it got cut. The other one we ended up having to loop around to the back of the firewall and mount it right behind the motor, back here to this control valve. This was all the farther I could get the control valve because this cable that goes to the dash wouldn't let it go any farther. So I got that mounted back there, and then at the other end of it just runs and goes into the heater core. Funny thing is, while I was messing around back here, I saw a clip laying back there, and sure enough, it was a cam position sensor. So it must have got unplugged at some point, probably when I was hooking the gauges up, or the oil pressure gauge up. So yeah, hopefully that takes care of the miss this thing's been having and the hard start issues I've been having the last month with it. Simple fix. In here, that goes to that heater control valve. Underneath here we got the blower motor and everything installed. It's got a 2-speed fan and all that stuff's working. And then next I need to cut a hole in the carpet on this kick panel to expose this hole up here and then connect that boot to it. All right, got the Sub-100 up and running, checking for leaks. Everything looks good so far. All right, we've had her warming up now for about 10-15 minutes. It's fairly warm, it's about 150. And we got heat. It's blowing nice warm air out of here. So far, so good. No leaks. So we got heat on those cold spring and fall nights when we go out and cruise it. Heater core's got a hole, son of a bitch. Well, everything was going good, and then I had to say everything was going good, and the apparently the heater core has a hole in it, and it started puking right there. So that sucks. Looks like we'll be pulling them back apart and swapping the heater core out. All right, I got the blower motor and the heater core assembly out. The good news is it's only 3 bolts into the firewall and a couple hoses to pop loose and a couple wires. So it comes out pretty easy. Probably only took about 10 minutes to take out. And then there's about 10 screws that hold this cover on. Pull that off, exposes the heater core, and it's definitely been leaking in a few spots. Right there I think is where it was leaking, here and here. Looks like right there it had been leaking previously and kind of healed itself a little bit. So I'm gonna look online. I think I found one on eBay for like 40 bucks. I'm gonna see if I can get one locally tomorrow, but that guy will be getting replaced. All right, swung by O'Reilly's this morning. They had a heater core in stock. $28. Thought that seemed pretty reasonable. So let's get her put in. Okay, we got the new heater core and blower motor fan assembly all mounted back up underneath the dash. And now it's just a matter of hooking up the hoses, and hopefully we'll be back to where we were last night. A few steps backwards, a half step forward. All right, got everything tied back up. Will it leak? Let's start it up and find out. Oh, it starts so much better at that cam position sensor plugged in. Well, we'll let it warm up and see if we get hot air and see if it leaks. Well, while we let this thing warm up, I think I'll try to get those guys mounted. The little clips were all stretched out so the screws don't hold worth a darn, they fall out. So I got new clips and screws. We'll get those tightened up. All right, I had to replace 2 of them on this. The other ones were fine. Then I upgraded to a size 10 screw. These little trim U-clips. Get those bad boys at Harbor Freight, and they work perfect. Got the door pockets attached with the new hardware and clips where needed. In here, good and warmed up. Heater's blowing nice warm air. Pull the lever. Frost is blowing. So I think we got that little project wrapped up. Check that one off the list. Alright guys, that's a wrap on the Sub-100 heater core install. Stay tuned next week. We'll probably be working on the Honda Prelude, trying to get that thing back in the ground and get the steering rack in it. I'd like to get it pushed out and get some primer on the Chevelle inner fenders, maybe get them in paint, I don't know yet. As always, like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, let us know what you want to see us working on, and get out in the garage and get something done. We'll see you on the next one.